Good evening and welcome to FRC Media News for Thursday, April 19th, 2018. I'm Donna Mata. On tonight's program, we update you on a water quality issue in Fall River, provide updates on festivities in honor of Earth Day this Saturday, and details on a senior expo at the Catholic Memorial Home. But first, as always, let's check in with Digital City News Editor at the Herald News, Will Richmond. Hello, Will.
Hi, Donna. How are you?
Good. It's nice to talk to you as always. Keith's away this week, so you have me. And we have a few things on tap, too. The weather's cold. It's rainy. We haven't seen a lot of spring so far, but that doesn't mean that the Streetscape project in Fall River is not happening. As a matter of fact, it is. Why don't you fill us in on the details?
All right, at the very least, where you seem to have bypassed the snow and freezing cold, so that does allow construction season to get started back up again, and we're starting to see some movement on the Streetscapes program started by Mayor Jazel Correa. There's been crews out in the area of Purchase and Bank Streets, which has been one of the first projects to be discussed. They're starting to do their test work over there, sort of the preliminary aspects of the project, doing test borings in the area to check on the sub-levels of the soil and that kind of thing. And so we're seeing some actual tangible movement with the streetscapes beyond the talk of what it can potentially do for the improvement and beautification of the city.
You know, sometimes these projects take time, and the mayor had come up with this idea a long time ago, and now it's coming to fruition from what you're saying. And there's also the banner program, Make It Here campaign, that seems to be getting off its feet as well. And I know you had a story in today's paper about that.
Yeah, so to sort of piggyback on the Make It Here campaign along with the Streetscapes idea, the city is working with a company in New York to create banners that would be hung outside of businesses. This would be prioritized in those streetscape areas as well as areas around Government Center. It would include the Make It Here logo. Businesses also can pick up a sponsorship, and that would allow them to have their logo on the banner as well. So, you know, if you're in the area of downtown Fall River, you're probably familiar with the banners. Some of them are Welcome to Fall River type. There are others that have promoted St. Anne's Hospital. So it would be those type of banners, you know, would replace some of the existing banners that exist in the city. And, you know, this is part of, like I said, it's a joint sort of effort behind the Make It Here and the Streetscapes project. And, you know, we'll wait and see when those start to get hung in the next couple of weeks.
Now, the bids must have gone out for the banner program, for the banners themselves, but the work wasn't given to Fall River workers, correct?
No, it was a New York company that approached the city about doing this. I guess in hundreds of other cities, you know, maybe not exactly the same, but similar programs in those other cities. And so they had approached the city about doing this, and you know, it appears to be moving forward at this point with that New York company.
And we'll see how much the sponsorship costs the businesses who do want to advertise. But again, that's all to come this spring and summer, hopefully. All right, next on the list, where there's a challenger to State Representative Alan Sylvia in the state's election upcoming. Why don't you give us the scoop on that?
Sure. For those familiar with last fall's city council race, Ian Tompkins, who had attempted to gain one of the city council seats, has announced his run against Sylvia. He held a fundraiser this past weekend, and he will be running as a member of the Green Rainbow Party. So that would mean that him and Alan would not face each other until November. At this point, he appears to be the only candidate that is challenging Alan Sylvia. So you know, it won't be much action go on the early end or through the primary process, but certainly, you know, Ian will be looking to bring what he says is a very progressive platform to his campaign, including an effort. You know, he said he stands strongly behind the $15 minimum wage and some issues such as that.
You know, the election's still a little ways off, so other people may jump on the bandwagon, so to speak. I know that people can, or potential candidates, can also run against Carol Fiola, but no word on whether that's happening yet or not.
Yeah, yes, no, that is true, but I just also want to put, while the election is a ways away, May 1st is the deadline for prospective candidates to submit their nomination papers with the whatever number of signatures is required based on the race they're running. So while there is that time, there is a short window that remains if you do want to get your name on the ballot.
Thank you. And moving on to police news. Now, you had a story in today's paper as well about a shooting incident that is apparently gang-related. We know that there's crime in the city, or cities obviously not like Fall River, but this was a gang-related shooting? That's actually interesting.
Yeah, so between late Monday night and early Tuesday morning, the Fall River Police Department confirmed that they were investigating 3 various shooting incidents. 2 of them, they found evidence of a shooting, whether it was spent bullet casings, holes in cars or homes. The 3rd one, they had not found any evidence. Unfortunately, in none of the 3 incidents, no one was reported as injured. In the past couple of days, as we've started looking into this, we've come across some court records that were tied to an arrest related to that evening. The arrest was not someone that was necessarily being charged with a shooting. It's somebody facing drug charges. But in that court record, we came to find that they suspect these shootings involve the Asian Boys Crypt street gang. They are continuing to investigate these ties, but certainly, we get these various shootings. They seem to be tied to drugs or, sort of
Criminal activity, right.
Yeah,
right.
criminal activity, neighborhood beefs of various gang members. And it looks that, there may be a chance things are starting up again following those incidents from Monday night and Tuesday morning.
And as most people know by now, there was a fatal shooting of a Cape Cod police officer who was known very well locally as well. And I understand the Herald News got reaction from the police chief in the city.
Yeah, certainly. We talked with a couple of chiefs in the area. Some of them, including the Somerset Police Chief, George McNeil, expressed frustration with judges in the state as well as defense attorneys. The person who shot the Cape Cod officer is facing over 100 charges throughout his short life. And, some questions were raised about, how someone that could have been charged so many times would be out, would be somewhat free, and be put in this position to be confronted by a police officer and also have access to a firearm that unfortunately led to the loss of Sergeant Gannon's life. So a lot of frustration, anger, and plenty of emotions running high amongst law enforcement officials following that death.
Unfortunately, when these things do happen, people have so many questions after the fact, and it's really rhetorical. There is no answer, but it's very sad. I mean, the victim was only 32 years old, and he was doing his job. So it does obviously bring grief to the local community as well as the region and the nation. It's really a sad state of affairs sometimes. Now, what's coming up for the weekend?
Sure. Well, you mentioned that in your show later on, you'll be talking about some Earth Day events. In preparation for Earth Day, we talked with a group, a citizen group that goes out and cleans up the city's streets, as well as the city's litter enforcement officer, to talk about what he encounters and how they handle litter enforcement in the city. So we'll have some stories on that coming up this week.
That's excellent. I love Earth Day. Earth Day is great. It's Saturday for people who don't know, and just take care of the environment. We only have one Earth. Thank you, Will. Keith will be back with you next weekend, and you have a good weekend.
Thanks, you too, Don.
There you go. Thank you. We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Fall River Career Center. Certified Nurse's Assistant, Catholic Memorial Home, located at 2446 Highland Avenue, is looking for a full-time Certified Nurse's Assistant to work with medically involved patients in a skilled nursing and rehab facility. Job number 10441574. Parts Delivery Driver. O'Reilly Auto Parts, located at 417 Rock Street, is looking for a full-time parts delivery driver to provide excellent customer service through the safe and efficient delivery of parts and products to our professional customers using a company-provided vehicle. Job number 10433137. Executive Director. The Catholic Foundation of Southeastern Massachusetts is in need of a full-time, experienced executive director to create and implement the Foundation's fundraising strategy and provide expert oversight of the Foundation's financial assets. Job number 1044-1120. Price Right, located at 866 Pleasant Street, is looking to fulfill the following positions. Seafood Stalker, job number 1044-1564. Department Manager, job number 1044-1560. Overnight Stock Associate, job number 1044-1556. Receiver, job number 1044-1551. For more information on these or other positions, visit jobquest.detma.org or call the Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Art Week, an innovative statewide festival, is coming to Fall River for the first time, and you're invited. Art Week was founded in 2013 to bring communities in Massachusetts unusual and unexpected experiences that are interactive or that offer behind-the-scenes access to artists or the creative process. Our local celebration will take place from April 27th to May 6th and will include 13 special events, ranging from a virtual reality scavenger hunt to an amateur radio day and a Mayfest. You can also attend painting workshops, concerts, art exhibits, and wellness events, along with themed performances featuring Frank Sinatra, Julia Child, and Lizzie Borden. You can even go out on the town on a ghost tour. Art Week in Fall River is sponsored by the Creative Arts Network, formerly known as AHA, and most events are free. For more information, go to creativeartsnetwork.org or FRMedia.org, and remember, Art Week starts on April 27th.
Welcome back. Some Fall River residents of late are concerned about the quality of their drinking water. That, according to the city's administrator of community utilities, Terry Sullivan, who explains.
This springtime, we've had an extended several weeks of taste and odor complaints in the drinking water. That happens naturally twice per year in the spring and fall in what we call the pond inversion or turnover, as the temperatures in the water changes and the water from the bottom goes to the top and vice versa. It churns up some material on the bottom. The water gets a little bit more turbid. It's completely safe to drink, but for that several week period, some people notice a different taste and an odor. Many people do not, but we don't question it. We know it's there. This year has been a little more than in the past because in January and February we had 2 3-inch rainstorms and heavy snow melt. So all of that volume of water coming through the streams into the pond has added to the turbidity and made it a little bit longer of the taste and odor issues. But the complaints are reducing, and I'm hoping in the next week or two it'll be resolved.
Sullivan also held a press conference this week to announce the start of the Middle Street Drainage Project that actually begins this month. Here's more.
It's a $5.3 million construction project. It's going to put new drains in Middle Street from Whipple Street all the way down to Bay Street, so there will be extensive construction. It's to separate the stormwater flows out of the CSO system to improve our CSO control, and it's to address flooding up in the Middle Street, South Main Street area, which has caused problems over the years. So we're excited to proceed. We have a federal grant covering 75% of the cost of the project. The remaining 25% is covered by a low-interest loan from the state of Massachusetts. So the contract has been awarded to KR Resendes. They are starting to clear the area and put up construction signs now. So through this summer, construction will be significant. We ask the public to pay attention to the signs and, if possible, avoid the area during heavy construction. We have included several green technologies in the construction project. So there are a number of tree filter boxes, which are catch basins with a tree to absorb much of the water before it goes to the drain. And in Middle Street between Broadway and South Main, where the Park Drive is, that median strip is being converted to a vegetated swale to absorb water and infiltrate much of it into the ground. So we're trying to follow the national trend of green technologies, as well as continuing our efforts to improve CSO control and address flooding issues.
In honor of Earth Day, which is this Saturday, Friends of the Quequechan River Rail Trail in Fall River has organized a cleanup program for that day. Here's spokesperson Janice Veloso.
The cleanup this weekend starts at 9 o'clock, and we're asking people to get there at between 8 and 8:30, and we will be meeting at Britland Park. And this will be our third annual Cleaning the Quequechan River and the Rail Trail. This year we're partnering with Comcast and Mass in Motion, the City of Fall River, the Friends of the Quequechan, and we will all be out there. We're expecting a large crowd. Fall River Fire Department will be there.
And what exactly will everybody be doing?
We have a lot of gardening to do this year. We have, if you've been down there, you've seen that we have massive gardens and daylilies, and so they need some tending, and we'll be mulching and putting down cardboard and weeding. We'll also be taking things out of the river and picking up trash. We also have a lady who was down there about 2 or 3 weeks ago who put a magnet in the river, and I had never thought about this, and came out with this incredible amount of metal. She has a 400-pound capacity, you know, to pull 400 pounds of metal out of on this magnet, and she had this whole pile of metal. So we've ordered a couple of magnets to go down there on Earth Day, and we're going to have people dredging the river for metal stuff in the bottom.
Bristol Community College held a farmers market at the Fall River campus this week, in part to honor Earth Day, and also in part to encourage residents to consider using recycled items and homemade goods.
Planning a farmers market in April was a bit of a tough ordeal in the beginning because we don't have primarily too much produce or fruits or anything of that nature in early April, but I did manage to kind of spin it a little bit, and I have a lot of crafters here who have made items out of recycled materials. Like we have a woman here who's selling tote bags that are made out of recycled feed bags that they use to feed the animals. We have jewelry that's made out of recycled stones and crystals, paintings. So we try to bring a little bit of everything in and intertwine the sustainability aspect into the Farmers Market series. Earth Day is so important, especially these days with EPA monies being threatened to be taken away. Sustainability is the wave of the future. You see so many college campuses such as UMass Amherst who fought for divestment, and divestment is very important. It's something that every campus, I think, and every big industry in the nation should be committed to, clean energy. And we have a lot of groups here. I think BCC is an important aspect to that with our Zero Net Energy building and our solar canopy parking garage. And I know the President Douglas has been doing a lot of amazing work with the offshore energy industry, and that's just really a big plus for us as a campus, and it shows how committed we are to Earth Day and the Earth in general.
If you're watching this program on Thursday evening, then it's not too late to attend a Senior Citizen Resource Expo scheduled for Friday, April 20th at the Catholic Memorial Home here in Fall River.
We do have bus transportation as well, so it will be held in our auditorium, and right now we have 20 vendors who will be here offering services and resources for seniors in the community.
Now, what kind of resources are you talking about?
We're talking about anything from home health aides, lawyer services. We have a concierge service who offers one and done, who can assist in your home, assisted livings. We also have the Bristol County Sheriff's Office will be here with all kinds of resources. We have Bristol Elder Services, and the Fall River Senior Center will be here too.
Is this the first time you're having this event?
No, this is our second one. Yeah, and last year was successful. The vendors were very happy with the turnout. We do offer refreshments, and there'll be raffles all day.
That means obviously that Catholic Memorial Home is having this event for not only the public, but caregivers as well.
Absolutely. As we all know, caregivers is a very tough job, and anything that's available to help them take care of their loved one is a plus. So it is open to children that may be looking to place their parents somewhere, caregivers, family members, anyone, or just the seniors in the community who are looking for some extra resources or help at home.
We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Art Week, an innovative statewide festival, is coming to Fall River for the first time, and you're invited. Art Week was founded in 2013 to bring communities in Massachusetts unusual and unexpected experiences that are interactive or that offer behind-the-scenes access to artists or the creative process. Our local celebration will take place from April 27th to May 6th and will include 13 special events, ranging from a virtual reality scavenger hunt to an amateur radio day and a Mayfest. You can also attend painting workshops, concerts, art exhibits, and wellness events, along with themed performances featuring Frank Sinatra, Julia Child, and Lizzie Borden. You can even go out on the town on a ghost tour. Art Week in Fall River is sponsored by the Creative Arts Network, formerly known as AHA, and most events are free. For more information, go to creativeartsnetwork.org or FRmedia.org. And remember, Art Week starts on April 27th.
Hello, welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. I'd like you to introduce you to Paisley. She has just arrived today. She's a very sweet little girl. Not quite sure how old she is, but she was found in an abandoned apartment and surrendered to us. And hopefully she'll find a very good home soon. You can meet her at Forever Paws. We're on 300 Linwood Street in Fall River. We're open every day from 11 to 4:30, except for Wednesdays and major holidays. So we'd really love you to come by and check her out and check the rest of the animals out. Everybody here needs a new home.
So today on Hot Dogs and Cool Cats, we have Bali. He is a teacup chihuahua, around 7 or 8 years old. So he won't get much bigger than this at all. He's an itty bitty boy that believes he's about 180 pounds. He does have a lot of sass in him, but he is a very good boy with a great disposition. He's going to be a vet's dream. He loves to be held and handled. He also loves to play with toys, so he has the best of both worlds. He is mostly potty trained, and he actually loves going on walks. He loves to play with other dogs, especially ones his size. Overall, Bali is just a really great gentleman. He'd make a great addition to anyone's household. So if you're looking for an itty bitty boy like him with a big dog attitude, come on down to Forever Paws Animal Shelter and come check him out.
Welcome back. A surprise visitor set up a temporary home at Government Center this week and plans to do so again.
This is our PopUp Library program. Every 2 weeks we're here at Government Center, and we bring a lot of our popular books, movies, graphic novels, a couple things for the kids, and we also have our handouts for a lot of our ongoing programs and our monthly programs that don't happen like every week. It's not our ongoing programs. And what we're trying to also do is get out into the community more. So we're going to parts of the city that they don't have a library, because we have our main library and the South Library. We're going to try to go to senior centers as well, so hopefully that's going to come soon.
And what are the reactions of the children who see your pop-up library?
They like it. It's kind of like a whoa kind of thing, because they see the banner, and we also get that reaction from adults as well. So a lot of people like it. Nobody poo-poos the library. They're never like, why are you here kind of thing. It's been a really positive reception to it.
Representatives of an advocacy group committed to exceptional quality higher education efforts met with state legislators at Bristol Community College in Fall River recently. Afterwards, FRC Media News caught up with a public higher education network of Massachusetts representative who explained overall student concerns.
At the community colleges, we often hear, you know, the tuition is a little bit lower at community colleges, but these students have families and other jobs that they're working, and it's a lot of non-traditional students that face a little bit of a different of a struggle. But across the board, students are having a really hard time paying for college, and it's because of the rising cost of education and the divestment from the state in higher education as a priority. And so we see students who are facing, do I have to drop out next semester because I cannot afford it? Or do I take out a loan that's going to stunt my financial future for the next 30 years? And students really have to weigh these options at such a young age, and that's what we don't want happening.
I know there's been less investment made in public higher ed in Massachusetts over decades, really. Does this awareness, do you think, help in at least keeping the issue in the forefront? I mean, those legislators have a tough job, no doubt about it, in terms of the amount of money they have to spend. So this is at least a benefit in terms of keeping higher ed on their radar.
Absolutely. So what I see at colleges, and when I was a college student, is that students kind of joke around about their debt in a way that's like, oh, I'm going to have to pay this off forever. And it just becomes kind of a normal thing. And it's like a coping thing that we just kind of joke about it. But by allowing it to be normal and by allowing it to have this charge over our life, we're allowing the problem to continue. And so if we can get students to share their experiences and say, hey, this isn't normal that we have $60,000 of debt when we graduate, that awareness and that education for their peers is what's gonna like turn on the light, like, okay, it hasn't always been like this. Like, we don't have to let it continue to be like this. We don't have to be complacent in this. And so that awareness is certainly what will help change.
That's it for this edition of FRC Media News. You can catch FRC Media News Thursday and Friday at 6 p.m., but our online news site is available 24/7 at frcmedianews.org. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Donna Mata. Have a great week.